Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rich Bradley, President of the Board of Public Service. This is the regular meeting of the Board of Public Service for Tuesday, March 5th, 2024. This is a public meeting and there are no lettings or no hearings today. So I would ask that only members of this board be allowed to speak unless recognized by myself or the secretary. At this time, I'll ask the secretary to please call the roll.
Director Coyle. Director Coyle. Director Davis.
Present.
Director Hayes is excused. Director Pearson is excused. Director Scobie.
Present.
Director Williams.
Present.
President Bradley.
Present, and Director Coyle is on the call. I will call this meeting to order.
Regular business from the President. Recommendation that approval be given as follows. Amendment number 1 to Equipment Services Division Service Contract number 74013 for repair and service of medium and heavy-duty trucks and equipment with Vanguard Truck Centers. This first amendment extends the term outlined in Section 1 of the original contract agreement to January 31st, 2026. Amendment number 1 to Equipment Services Division Service Contract number 74145 for repair and service for fuel dispensing pumps and lubricating equipment with Custom Complete Automotive. This first amendment extends the termination of the contract to February the 28th, 2026, and increases the maximum not to exceed amount to $450,000. Amendment number 1 to Equipment Services Division Service Contract number 74162 with Automotive Technology, Inc. This first amendment extends the term of the contract to February the 28th, 2026, and increases the maximum not to exceed amount to $40,000. Amendment number 1 to Equipment Services Division Service Contract number 74379 for repair and service electrical and engines for Chevrolet vehicles with Don Brown Chevrolet. This first amendment extends the term of the contract to May 15th, 2026 at the City of St. Louis Water Division and increases the maximum not to exceed amount to $165,000. Amendment number 1 to Equipment Services Division Service Contract number 78098 for equipment repairs with Pet Kelly Equipment Company, Inc. This first amendment adds the City of St. Louis Water Division to the contract and increases the maximum not to exceed amount to $320,000. Amendment number 2 to Equipment Services Division Service Contract number 74741 to align, fabricate, paint, repair, replace, service, straighten, and weld assemblies, bodies, component, and parts on vehicles and equipment with Valley Park Welding, LLC. This second amendment increases the scope of work to include the Howard Bend and Chain of Rocks water treatment plants for the Water Division and increases the contract maximum not to exceed amount to $2,600,000 to reflect this additional work. Easement agreement for the Compton Avenue Bridge, project number STP-5461, parcels 6 and 31, by and between the Terminal Railroad Association of St. Louis and the City of St. Louis, Missouri, by and through its Board of Public Service. General warranty deed for the Compton Avenue Bridge, project number STP-5461, parcel 36, by and between Kelly Draper and Wendy Hart as trustees of the Revocable Trust Agreement of Douglas G. Draper, dated November 10th, 2006, and the City of St. Louis, Missouri, acting by and through its Board of Public Service. Permanent access easement agreement for the Compton Avenue Bridge, project number STP-5461, parcel 36 by and between Kelly Draper and Wendy Har as trustees of the revocable trust agreement of Douglas G. Draper dated November 10, 2006, and the city of St. Louis, Missouri, acting by and through its Board of Public Service. Temporary construction easement agreement for the Compton Avenue Bridge, project number STP-5461, parcel 36 by and between Kelly Draper and Wendy Har as trustees of the revocable trust agreement of Douglas G. Draper dated November 10, 2006, and the city of St. Louis, Missouri, acting by and through its Board of Public Service. From the Office of Special Events, request for the following to be approved, subject to certain conditions. There are 9 special events to be declared as a festival zone. Shamrock the Grove will take place on Talmadge Avenue between Vanderveer and Manchester on March 16th from noon to 7 p.m. Setup and tear down will begin at 7 a.m. and end at 11:59 p.m. Cardinals Open Day Rally will take place at Kena Plaza and surrounding streets on April 4th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Setup and tear down will begin on April 3rd at 8 a.m. and end on April 4th at 7 p.m. Kegs and Eggs Opening Day will take place at Kena Plaza and surrounding streets on April 4th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Setup and tear down will begin on April 3rd at 8 a.m. and end on April 4th at 5 p.m. Places for People, Health and Wellness will take place in Soulard Market Park on April 6th from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Arch Bark will take place on Washington Avenue between 1st and 2nd Street on April 20th from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. St. Ambrose La Festa will take place in the streets around St. Ambrose on May 4th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. and May 5th from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Setup and tear down will begin on May 4th at 8 a.m. and end on May 5th at 10 p.m. Walk MS St. Louis will take place in Forest Park on May 18th from 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. Setup and tear down will begin on May 17th at 8 a.m. and end on May 18th at 2 p.m. Subvaliant will take place on Maffett Avenue between Vanderveer and Sarah on June 15th from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Market Mile will take place on Market between Broadway and 20th on August 11th from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. Setup and tear down will begin at 5 a.m. and end at noon. From the Director of Parks, Recreation, and Forestry, recommendation that the following be approved, subject to certain conditions. Application number 132109, request by Esther Crow Flies, aerial photography to fly a drone inside Forest Park to capture spring flowers and trees as the season changes. From the Director of Utilities, Public Utilities, recommendation that the board declares as emergency action the following. Repair of a 20-inch water main at Natural Bridge and Seamers Lane. The estimated cost for this work is $349,906.94. Repair of a Nash vacuum pump at the Howard Bend Water Treatment Plant engine house. This pump has previously failed, and this work will improve its reliability and efficiency, reducing maintenance costs over time. The estimated cost of this work is $8,500. Replacement of the roofs and trailers at the McCree Pipe Yard facility. Currently, 2 trailers need to have the flat roofs torn down to the deck and replaced. These have become damaged and repaired over time due to the weather and normal wear. Gutters will also be installed to help remove water from the roofing surface, which will increase the longevity of the newly installed roofs. The estimated cost of this work is $16,500. Request by Preservation Square 1A Landlord LLC and Grimes Consulting to vacate and release the St. Louis City Water Division easement rights related to the completed development of Preservation Square at 1800 through 1806 Cochran Place. From the Director of Streets, recommendation that the following be approved, subject to certain conditions. City of St. Louis bike and scooter program permit. This permit allows bikes, scooters, and associated stations to be located primarily in the public right of way, both on public property and publicly accessible private property, in coordination with the city and station system sponsors. Application number 132098, request by George L. Crawford and Associates, Inc., doing business as CBB, to encroach with temporary data collection cameras to the existing poles for traffic and pedestrian counts at the intersections of Faulkner Drive and Clayton Avenue, Kings Highway Boulevard, and Hospital Drive. There's a correction for the next section. It states that it's from the Director of Public Safety and Utilities, but it's from the Public Utilities and Streets, so I just wanted to make that correction. Request by Great Rivers Greenway and ABNA for public improvement at Fieldhouse Drive to include replacement and stability of retaining wall number 3 along Great River Greenway Crondelet Connector. Joint recommendation that one application from AT&T be approved, subject to certain conditions. Application number 5 for 1700 Washington Avenue. And we have 5 conditional use permits from the Director of Public Safety.
Good afternoon, Mr. President and members of the board. My name is Steve Narr, zoning specialist for the city, and I'll be representing the building commissioner at today's meeting. For Board Order 766 transmitted herewith are recommendations for the following conditional use agenda applications. Conditional use permit must be denied for 5327 Lotus Avenue and 4649 Carter Avenue, and 3 conditional use permits to be approved for 3359 South Jefferson Avenue, 4559 Gravois Avenue, Unit 1, and 6148 to 6150 Delmar Boulevard.
Thank you, Steve. Are there any questions on today's conditional uses? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve, please.
I move to accept the conditional uses as presented. Scobie?
Second Coyle.
Thank you, directors. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Coyle,
Aye.
Director Davis. Aye. Director Scobie,
Aye.
Director Williams. President Bradley.
Aye, today's conditional uses are approved. I'd like to turn your attention to our meeting minutes from last Tuesday, February 27th, 2024. Are there any questions or comments on these meeting minutes as presented? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve, please.
Motion to approve, Davis.
Second, Williams.
Thank you, directors. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Coyle,
Aye.
Director Davis,
Aye.
Director Scobie,
Aye.
Director Williams,
Aye.
President Bradley.
Aye, the meeting minutes are approved. Today's agenda, are there any questions or comments on today's BPS meeting agenda? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve, please.
I move
Motion to
to
approve Coyle.
second Scobie.
I have a motion to approve in a second. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Coyle,
Aye.
Director Davis,
Aye.
Director Scobie,
Aye.
Director Williams,
Aye.
President Bradley.
Aye, today's meeting agenda is approved. Before we adjourn, are there any questions or any comments from any of our board directors? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn, please.
Motion to adjourn, Williams.
Second Scobie.
Thank you. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned. Thank you all. Have a good afternoon.